Keeping in the same vein, talking about LIV, this weekend, Tiger Woods was asked about if he could see a pathway for LIV guys to return to the PGA Tour and play in some events once the merger is complete. This is what Tiger had to say.
Tiger, as far as the landscape goes, is there a path back to the PGA Tour for the players who join LIV? And if so, what would that look like?
As far as a pathway, we're still working on that. That's part of the deal we're working through, is trying to find a path, whatever that looks like. There's so many different scenarios. That's why I said there's a lot of sleepless hours trying to figure that out, and there's a lot of participation of the players, and then what does that look like?
Now, what I don't understand is, why are they looking at punishing LIV players once the merger is complete and they want to go back and play on some PGA Tour events? Why is their punishment even being discussed? Now, many years ago, before I even worked in the music business, I had a job working for ING Direct. I was one of the first employees of ING Direct. Canadians will know it. And then around 2012, Scotiabank bought out ING Direct, and I had a bunch of friends who were still employees there. And when the merger happened between Scotiabank and ING, the ING employees weren't punished. Like, they weren't forced to pay higher parking rates at the new Scotiabank offices. Like, they didn't have to pay a higher fee for the food in the office cafeteria because they were ING employees and they're now working with the Scotiabank employees. And they didn't get, like, the wonky chair in the new offices because they were the ING people. Oh, yeah, you're going to get the chair with the wonky wheel because you're not a Scotiabank person, you're an ING person. They were all welcomed with open arms. It's like, hey, welcome to Scotiabank. You're part of us now. And when I did work in the music business back in 2004, two major record labels merged. You had Sony Records and BMG Records, and in 2004, they merged. And again, I had friends, in the music business that worked for both companies, and then they got a new office together in Toronto down in Liberty Village. And they were one of the companies that helped build up the Liberty Village area. But, neither group of employees was punished. The BMG employees didn't have to pay $40 a day parking, while the Sony people only had to pay $15 or $20. It wasn't like, oh, hey, you get the bad office because you're a BMG employee and I'm a Sony employee. There was none of that. So this whole notion that LIV players need to be punished because their bosses want to merge with another company is absolutely preposterous. It makes absolutely no sense at all. Hey, we need to punish those guys because they work for a better company and got paid more than us and they have to work less. So we have to punish them if they want to come work with us again. It makes absolutely no sense. And Tiger's, pushing, oh, yeah, we got to see what kind of pathway back. What pathway? Your boss and their boss merged. There should be no talk about any pathway whatsoever. And so, this whole pathway back for LIV players could be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in business. And I'll bet you anything, absolutely anything, nothing happens to the LIV guys once the merger is finalized. I think they'll get what they called in the criminal court system as time served. So sometimes, you're charged with a crime and you get no bail and you sit in jail for 2 years and then trial finally happens and then, either they realize maybe the charges were false or, yeah, you did do it, but the charges weren't that serious, so I'm not going to give you further punishment. You're just going to get time served for that 2 years and you can walk out of this court right now a free man. That's what the LIV guys are going to get. They're going to get time served. They've all plummeted in the official world golf ranking system, and that is going to be their only punishment. There's no signs that the official world golf ranking system is going to be overhauled anytime soon, even though it should be. But I think once the merger is finalized, the LIV players are going to get time served. Hey, oh, sorry you lost your official world golf ranking points. It is what it is, but you got paid huge dough, and that's it. They're going to get time served. There's going to be no pathway. They'll play when they want, wherever they want, and the delusional PGA Tour players who are too cowardly to go take that money will have to sit and deal with it. And that, folks, is the number one reason Rory McIlroy was punted from the PGA Tour Policy Board, because he was pushing for this punishment, because he didn't take that money when they had the opportunity, and he feels dumb for it. And so he wanted that punishment. And that's why he's been excused from the policy board, because they're like, look, it's not happening. No one's getting punished. It is what it is. Deal with it. They're going to get time served, and that's that. But mark my words, there's going to be no punishment other than the loss of ranking points, which those guys could regain fairly quickly if they have an interest in it and doing so. Some would, some won't, some don't care. they got that money, and who cares? But other guys may go seeking, playing PGA Tour events, trying to get those ranking points back, and then, continue on with their LIV schedule. But yeah, don't expect any pathway or punishment. It's absolutely absurd.